Were we supposed to be here first?
No, this is
Okay.
totally fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Al Graves, get in your seat. I'll call this meeting to order on Monday, March the 6th, 2017. Want to welcome everyone. Very glad to have with us tonight Pastor Lee Delbridge of the Smyrna Christian Church, who will come forward at this time, give us our invocation, and also lead us in the pledge of flag. So everyone please rise.
Father in heaven, we thank you for all the blessings of life. We thank you for the opportunity to be here. We ask that you be with these city leaders, that you give them wisdom to know the right thing to do, and that you give them courage to do that right thing. It's in the name of Jesus we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And just for the record, both Council Member Terry Nulowich and Ron Fennell are out of town this week, along with our City Attorney, Scott Cochran, which is probably an upgrade, having his assistant here. So, agenda changes, we have none. Under the mayor's report, it's going to be a short meeting tonight, maybe. Mayor's report, we don't have anything. I want to thank Terry Nulowich for being here the last two meetings. I've had a couple of health issues, but I'm back and I'm feeling good. Unfortunately, for those that wish I wasn't here. Department head reports. Do we have anything tonight, Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir. We have two reports this evening. One is from our police chief and one is from our finance director. So, Chief, if you want to come up and lead us off, Chief David Lee, and then we'll get to our finance director, Kristen Robinson.
Okay, good evening. We've recently had two different audits. The first one we had was the FBI comes in, audits, make sure that all of our procedures and passwords and everything for NCIC that we're in compliance. It's a pretty lengthy process. We have before they even come out, we have about a 15-page document that we have to answer a bunch of questions to, and then when they come out, they're on site pretty much the whole day. But we passed. We had two minor things that we were deficient on, but they were things we were able to clear up and fix right then and there. We had another audit today with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. They sent a chemist out to audit the way we do marijuana testing, and we got high praise from them. We passed it. They really liked the way that we had things set up and the way we were doing things. Another thing we had today, I can't tell you where it happened at, but our SWAT team assisted MCS in a narcotics bust that I know I told Mr. Jones earlier the weight, but it was actually more, where this happened in Smyrna, got 40 pounds of marijuana, several $1,000s, a firearm, a high-end SUV, and 3 people went to jail. The narcotics agent, the MCS agent, was actually one of our officers who's assigned out there. So it was we got a pretty good bust out of it. Questions? Anyone? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Our Finance Director, Kristen Robinson.
How do I get to the screen here? I got it.
And while Kristen's getting that, I failed to mention Smyrna Christian Church, which is located at 910 Concord Road. Great little small church. You just can't hardly see it when you go by. If you're looking for a new church or just into town, I've actually been there before. Lee does a great job. It's a great little small church. So if you'd like to visit that or stop by, I'm sure they'd love to have you. It's pretty selective. They wouldn't let me join. So they're good folks. And Lee, you've always been so gracious to come and give our invocation. We appreciate that so much. And anytime you want to leave, you can. That's how much I think of it. Kristen.
All right. So I just wanted to give you a couple of operating indicators for our department. Year to date, this is from July through the end of February. We have processed a little over 9,000 invoices, 4,600 checks have gone through, and we have paid out a little over $33 million. So just kind of gives you a taste of what we're doing. 4,500 POs have been issued, and that's just going through our small department. Receipt transactions, this encompasses both the finance activities, the property taxes, and just general miscellaneous collections, and then our utility billing. So you can see it's been a pretty busy year to date. And then the journals, I like to throw that in there because everything else kind of highlights my staff, but this is me and Richard and what we've been doing to get things into the ledger. Sorry. And then utility billing, I asked them to start tracking what their monthly service is, what they're doing. Year to date, they have done 432 work orders. And then the edits, the 46, that's if there's a problem when we do the meter read and it requires one of our staff to go out and take a look to see what the problem is. They've handled 49 defective meters, and we've got 200 new accounts. Our average accounts have been about 15,000, and our average monthly consumption has been a little over 106,000. So property taxes, this is good news. Mike ran a report last week, and we are at 98.5% collections. We sent out delinquent bills a little while ago, and in the last about a month, we've got $73,000 extra dollars. So $274,000 still outstanding. It's pretty good. Mike does a really good job, Mike Hickenbottom, of getting out those delinquent letters and getting on the phone and collecting. So we've got a really good collection rate this year. Budget update, our general fund revenues are tracking 3.4% higher than they were this time last year. Our expenditures are at 67%. That's right where they should be going through February. Water and sewer, the revenues are a little lower than anticipated, but that's because a billing just went out and we haven't had the collection, so we're a month behind on that. So that number's a little distorted. No issues there. And our expenditures are a little low, but that's typical. We typically, have a lot going on in the last part of the year. A little bit on the budget process. We were supposed to finalize our CIP back at the end of January. I think I've told all of you we've got a couple of issues outstanding. We're waiting on some figures to come back so we can finalize that. The departments had to turn in their personnel requests, their vehicle requests, any revenue advice, all that stuff was due last Friday, and this Friday, all the operating budget information is due into us. We did get a lot of new hire requests, so we'll be bringing that to y'all in a couple of months when we get it all together. We got our letter from the state on our audit for fiscal year 16, and they accepted our audit. They accepted the financials without any notable conditions, any financing reports. So we're good. GFOA, we submit to them for our certificate of excellence in financial reporting. They typically notify us in June if we've received that. We've received that the last couple of years, so hopefully we'll get that again this June. So that's all. You have any questions?
Questions, comments?
Just a quick comment on the department heads. I speak to my department heads often, but I had a chance to speak to several of them today on various issues. And, you know, I hung up the phone and I was talking to my assistant earlier, and I said to her, I said, you know, I don't think people really understand how good our department heads really are. I depend on them a lot, and I'm impressed at their professionalism. We have some really, really talented people that I got to inherit when I came to the city of Smyrna. And I know we have some great staff at council members. Y'all really do have a very good professional department head staff. Very proud of them.
$275,000 short, though. We need to get that money.
98.5% collections.
Use
Do you
your
have-
numbers, 274 something, so if you just get that last 275,000, it
We'll
might
work on it, but I bet you if you were to ask other cities and counties, they would be pretty happy with the 98% collection rate.
Mike Hickenbottom does an
He
outstanding
is
job.
wonderful. Yes, he is.
Not only in collecting the money, but letting people know that they owe the money.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't find that in a lot of cities. It's gotten so big that, but we still have that sort of one-on-one hometown. So it's good, it's good. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Anything else? Okay. Item 5 is land issue zonings and annexation. We have none. Item 6 is previous licenses. We have none. Item 7 is formal business. We have one item, A 2017-392, approval of extended work hours for Benning Construction to complete slab on grade concrete pour for Belmont Physician Center, land lot 490, 1.90 acres, 1060 Windy Hill Road, Benning Construction, on behalf of Halford Enterprise. Mr. Jones, the background, please.
Mr. Mayor, Benning Construction is the general contractor that's doing the work at Belmont, and the area we're talking about is for the new Physician Center. They need to make one very large concrete pour, and they're requesting permission to go outside of their normal work hours and do that pour from 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. It'll only be for one day, but they're asking for a week window from March 8th to March 14th to do the work. And they're just, so they don't have to come back if there's inclement weather and they can't get it done that day. This will allow them flexibility to get the pour done in one day without having to specify. And that's it. It's I think you mentioned it in your agenda title, but it's for the Belmont Physician Center.
Is anyone here from Benning Construction? Not that they need to be. This would be under Terry Nullawich's district, and she's not here. I'm going to ask Councilmember Corky Welch if he will take care of that issue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Are there any questions from the council at this point? Hearing none, I would move for approval of the extended work hours for Benning Construction to complete slab-on-grade concrete pour for Belmont Hills Physician Center. Land lot 490, 1.901 acres at 1060 Windy Hill Road, Benning Construction on behalf of Halpern Enterprises.
Second.
Sorry.
Have a motion and a second to approve this extended work hours. Is there any other
I
comment?
second.
Yeah, I got that.
Oh, okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please vote. That's approved 5-0. Item 8 is commercial building permits. We have none. Item 9 is consent agenda. Mr. Jones, will you please read the consent agenda for council's approval?
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, there are 6 items before you on the consent agenda. Item A is approval of mayor and council meeting minutes for February 20th, 2017. Approval of mayor and council committee of the whole meeting minutes for February 16th, 2017. Item C is approval of mayor and council pre-council meeting minutes for February 20th, 2017. Item D is an approval to modify personnel policy BEN 1-0 holidays to recognize Christmas Eve as a full holiday and authorize the mayor to sign related documents. As we discussed, this will bring us in line with the other cities in the county. Item E is approval to use council chambers for Vinings Forest Homeowner Association meeting Thursday, March 23rd, 2017, from 6 to 9. This is in Councilman Stoner's ward. And item F is approval of the Atkins Park Annual Crawfish Boil. It's a 2-day event, April 29th from 11 to 10 p.m. and Sunday, April 30th from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Do you hear a motion that we approve the consent agenda?
Second.
A motion second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please vote. Takes just as long to get 5 votes. That's approved 5-0. So it does 7. Committee reports will start tonight with Mr. Derek Norton. Mr. Norton.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've got no committee report, but I do have a couple of things to mention I'm pretty excited about in Ward 1. First, for those of you, the long-awaited sidewalk down Carolyn Drive between Spring and the stop sign there is about 50% complete. So that ought to be done here in the next couple of weeks. I know a lot of folks have waited a long time for that, and that'll improve pedestrian safety there along Carolyn. The other thing is y'all are seeing the improvements on Spring Road take place from 41 to Campbell. Almost all the paving is done. They're putting in the decorative lights. What I'm most excited about is going to happen in the next 3 weeks before the end of the month. That's the right around $500,000 we put in for landscaping and irrigation. It's going to be transformative for that section of roadway, and really looking forward to dressing up the entrance to the city. So you'll see that. Saw some of the trees on Cumberland already go in, but all the rest of that down Spring Road will happen in the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. With that, I yield.
Ms. Andrea Bluestein.
I just wanted to remind Ward 2 residents that I am having a meeting on March 15th from 6:30 to 8 at Bronner Hall, and one of the things we're going to discuss is traffic. And also, too, we're going to have someone come and talk about SunTrust Park and the Braves and the different entities that are going into that development. So, because I think we have lived this, Ward 2 I know has lived it as much as Ward 1 in some respects, because they keep putting out that sign, awful traffic, and it's like, no, it's just horrible traffic. But anyway, with that, I yield.
Mr. Corky Welch.
You sure you really want to talk about traffic? I just want to commend our Public Works Department. I see that the park along Concord Road, linear park along there is going very well, and they encourage everybody to drive slowly and take a quick look over to the side. It's looking very nice. With that, I yield, Mr. Mayor.
Ms. Susan Wilkinson.
Thank you. I guess this is not really a city event, but the mayor does the fountain on St. Patrick's Day every year, and that's coming up next week. And I think he's going to be doing it 2 days, on the 17th and the 18th. And do you know what time that is? Is it?
No, I just know that they've made arrangements to get some kind of water up there, because right
You know
now
if it's going to be green this time or that sludge?
it's going to be green. It will not have a. But as you all know, we're under water restrictions, so. But they've made arrangements to get water there for those, somebody's donating the water so that we can dye the fountain green for that day. So I'm not sure exactly what time it is. I think it's in the evening sometime.
It usually is around 5 or
Right.
so, 5 or 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, I yield.
Mr. Doug Stoner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just real quickly, I wanted to remind folks that we have started our comprehensive plan, our update that we're required by state law. And we're going to be having another public workshop coming up on March 21st from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Bronner Hall. And I really encourage folks to attend that. This is a very open process. We want people to participate. You can also go online and look up Guide Smyrna. That is what we're calling the process, so you'll be able to get a lot of information prior to coming to that public meeting, and I really do encourage all our citizens to engage in this because we only do this basically to this level about once every 10 years. At this point, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have to report.
Before we do not have a show cause hearing. I know that we've got an election coming up. I don't know if there's any candidates here. I think the 6th Congressional District. Is there anyone here that's running for that office, although it doesn't cover Smyrna? You know, some folks out there that look like they might be running for something. Sorry, I'm kidding. Y'all look, okay. We have citizens input. We have 4 folks that have signed up. Kurt Johnston of 1047 Queensgate Drive. Education SPLOST vote. Kurt, good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, Mayor Bacon, council members, and Smyrna citizens that might be tuned in. My name is Kurt Johnston, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit about the Education SPLOST referendum that's coming up for a vote on March the 21st. Along with 14 other Cobb County citizens, I serve on the Citizens Oversight Committee for the SPLOST program. One of my duties is to visit each school in the district and to view their facility needs and make sure that their needs are addressed. My other duty is to review each project as it comes forward to make sure that what is done meets the promises made to the voters. I can assure you that our committee takes our job very seriously. We want to make sure that our schools get what they need and that the money is spent properly and wisely. The population growth study for this area indicates that over the next 6 years, there will be an additional 3,000 students coming to school in the Smyrna area. Our schools in Smyrna area are already at capacity, and we will need new schools and new classrooms for these students. This is a critical issue for the Smyrna area. Smyrna will be well served in this referendum by a classroom expansion and a new theater at Campbell High School, a completely new middle school, and a complete rebuild for a larger King Springs Elementary School. You may be aware that King Springs is split into 2 locations now. Part of the faculty and students are at the old location, and the rest of them are over at the Brown Elementary location. I have with me tonight the proposed project list for each of the schools in this area. You can see how thick it is because there are a lot of schools down here and they have a lot of needs. You can find this same information online at www.cobbk12.org. If you place your cursor on the header bar labeled District, you will see a choice for SPLOST information. That will lead you to a 224-page document that spells out the full proposal for the whole county in great detail. I didn't print that out tonight because that would have been 2 or 3 trees down the drain, I guess. As a senior citizen and a Smyrna resident since 1972, I am fortunate to be exempt from school taxes for operations, but I understand that those taxes do not provide for the upkeep and expansion of our facilities and technology. If we are to remain one of the top school systems in Georgia, we have to keep our facilities in the best possible condition. I hope you will all join me in voting yes for this very important referendum on Tuesday, March the 21st. Thank you.
Kurt. Isabel Miller of 716 Vinings Estates Drive. There's actually 4 people that signed up. Are y'all the 4 people that signed up? Kerrigan, how you pronounce the last name? Yep, and then Harold. Yeah. Y'all could, it's okay for y'all to say what you want to say, so it's y'all's time.
Hi, I'm Kerrigan Thiel, and I'm a senior at Campbell's IB program. And having moved here to Smyrna from East Cobb, I've seen the discrepancies between the facilities at Pope and at Campbell. And in the past few years, I've seen other schools such as Walton and Wheeler receive new facilities, while Campbell's remained the same. I believe that Smyrna, a growing commercial area, deserves a school that reflects the vibrant community that surrounds Campbell. And at school, it is very apparent that a lot of students have issues with the facilities that are currently at Campbell. We're outgrowing the school. The cafeteria is way too small. And as a member of the fencing team, we've had a lot of difficulties finding areas to practice within the school because of so many sports activities. Many of my classmates have brought up the same issues, and we would love to have this solved with the SPLOST funding.
My name's Isabel Miller. I'm a senior, and I'm also a member of the IB program. While we are all disappointed in the Campbell facilities, we are also still incredibly proud to be a part of the Campbell community. I have had the privilege to receive one of the best educations Cobb County offers, which is Campbell IB program. We are also one of the most diverse school communities in the county, and we see that diversity as a benefit, and it enlivens our community. And we wish that we had a school that reflected our pride in our community and also the quality of the education that we receive at Campbell.
Hi, I'm Harold Chung, the student body president over at Campbell High School. And so with that being said, although there is a discrepancy between the facilities at Campbell High School and other schools in the county, we would like to lower these differences in the quality of our facilities. And with the projects that are outlined with the SPLOST funding, we hope to realize this. And our vision for the Campbell High School facilities to reflect the vision, the quality of the community as well as the education we receive there. And so it is for this reason that we, the students at Campbell High School, would like to ask you, the mayor, as well as the city council members, to publicly express your support for the passing of SPLOST by contacting your constituents and asking them to vote on Tuesday, March the 21st. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have been an outspoken here's all I want for the schools in Smyrna, Georgia, is to be on the same level playing field. I don't want any more. I don't want any less than every school, whether it's in East Cobb or West Cobb. And sometimes I don't come across the right way. I've actually been able to put my foot in my mouth when I thought I already had a foot in there. But it is important that we get just the same. I don't want any more. I just want the same as I know you mentioned Pope and all the other schools in East Cobb. I don't think it's too much for us to ask, and it's a struggle every day for us to get what is due to us. And I still say this, that we have the best schools in Cobb County right here in Smyrna, Georgia, whether it be elementary or middle school or the high school. There's great schools. So, I haven't seen the list yet. I know that last Thursday, Susan Thayer, our representative, mentioned the March 21st vote. I would encourage everyone to get out and to support our schools here in this part of Cobb County, and just give us whatever everybody else gets. Not anymore. We just want the same. Hey, y'all did good, except for the older guy that spoke first, Kurt Johnson. Kurt, we appreciate your leadership and your involvement in the schools. We thank you so much. That was the final person to speak tonight. And I normally don't do this because I've always been afraid that I was going to forget somebody that was an important part of our community. But there was a man that just passed away Saturday, Carmen Wright, who was a longtime citizen. He was proudly from Oakdale, and he was from Smyrna. He and his wife raised their children here, and he passed away, and his funeral's tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I just say this about Coleman is that, his kids are really hurting. He was a very close father, but really did a lot for this community. He's just a good guy. So that's I'm done with messing that up. But he'll be remembered. So anyway, okay, I'm done. Any other business to be brought before this body? I see we've got a new clock in the back that says we are adjourned at exactly 7:30. So I declare this meeting adjourned at 7:30. I should have never done that. Here you go. Here's this right here. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it. No, yeah. Thank you.
No, if you want to, I'll give Christy some. Okay. I want to sit down, me and Ken.
Okay.
I want to kind of update you on our conversations with GDOT.
Okay. All right. Okay.